In the distant past, long before the universe's grand inception, before the stars adorned the heavens, and long before the pantheon of deities graced the realms, there existed but one entity. At first, chaos was an immensely ferocious chasm, like a boundless, dark, wandering, and wild sea. Initially, chaos bore a striking resemblance to an unforgiving, tempestuous sea, ceaseless in its turmoil, dark as the abyss, and untamed like a tempest at sea. The English poet Milton from the 17th century masterfully depicted the ancient Greek belief in the genesis of the universe and the divine with these two poetic lines. Yet from the heart of chaos, a realm of marvels and a pantheon of extraordinary gods unfolded. Chaos gave life to Gaia, the earth, the nurturing mother of all living beings, with her abundant and life-giving bosom. Gaia became the cradle where the diverse and everlasting tapestry of life was woven. Generation after generation, chaos also gave rise to Erebus, the eternal darkness, and Nyx, the shrouded night. However, the tale doesn't end there. Chaos birthed Tartarus, the abyss, and Eros, the embodiment of love. Eros, the youngest offspring of chaos, possessed an exquisite beauty, tasked with a mission to unify gods and mortals, flora and fauna, and all living things, fostering a harmonious world and an eternal, undying existence. And thus, chaos begat 5 children. With these 5 entities, nowadays referred to as principles, an unbroken lineage of descendants would emerge and perpetuate from one generation to the next. Erebus, the embodiment of eternal darkness, found companionship in Nyx, the enigmatic night. Their union heralded the birth of 2 celestial progeny, either the unfading air and Hemera, the radiant light. It was from this luminous brilliance that day itself emerged. Since then, the world has been awash with light, and the alternating dominion of day and night began. Gaia, the earth goddess, sported an abundant, life-nurturing bosom. Her firstborn offspring was Aranos, the expansive sky. Hesiod, the revered Greek poet of the 8th or 7th century BC, immortalized this tale in his masterpiece Theogony, the earth goddess with her ample breast, a steadfast anchor for all that rests, with golden locks. She birthed the world's first dawn, the sprawling sky, her dearest bond, to blanket the entire world, a divine abode for gods unfurled. From Gaia's womb, there arose towering, majestic mountains and the vast sea, at times roaring with fierce tumult and at other times whispering in gentle reprieve. The sky, mountains, and sea all sprung from the earth goddess Gaia, were her offspring without known fathers, for in those times she had not entwined with another. With the gods, such origins held no enigma. Subsequently, the earth goddess Gaia joined in matrimony with the sky god Aranos, giving life to a multitude of descendants, each mighty and gifted, beyond the stature of any god born in that era. However, they would later yield to the ascendant deities. The progeny of Aranos and Gaia were classified into 3 distinct groups: the Titans and Titanides. Among the divine progeny, there stood 6 distinguished male Titans, jointly known as the Titan, and 6 illustrious female Titans, collectively referred to as the Titanides. The illustrious male Titans encompassed Oceanus, revered as the deity presiding over the boundless great ocean; Koios, Crius, Hyperion, Iapetus, and Cronus, known in Roman mythology as Saturn. The esteemed female Titanides included Thetis, Iadis, Mimas, Mnemosyne, Phoebe, and Rhea. 2. The Cyclopes. In the divine pantheon, these 3 formidable giants held a prominent place, each boasting a single, all-seeing eye situated squarely upon their foreheads. Masters of craftsmanship and the forging arts, they possessed the ability to craft almost anything. The 3 brothers bore the names Argos, Steropes, and Brontes. 3. The 300-handed giants, Hecatoncheires. If the Cyclopes were monstrous, the Hecatoncheires exceeded even that level of monstrosity. Each Hecatoncheire was graced with 100 formidable hands and 50 heads, often referred to as the 100-handed gods. Their extraordinary and inconceivable strength struck awe in the hearts of all, and few dared entertain the thought of challenging them. Their names were Cottus, Briareos, and Gaige. As previously recounted, Ouranos united in matrimony with Gaia, bringing forth 6 sons collectively designated as the Titans and 6 daughters collectively known as the Titanides. The Titans with the Titanides, and together they produced offspring destined to govern the world. The eldest firstborn Titan was the venerable Oceanus, the god who reigned supreme over all seas, springs, and rivers. With an authoritative hand, he orchestrated and harmonized the vast expanse of waters into an encircling river that shielded the earth. Oceanus espoused Tethys and brought forth 3,000 sons and 3,000 daughters. The daughters, known collectively as the Oceanides, were nymphs dwelling in the depths of the sea as well as in rivers and springs. The sons ascended to rule over all the earth's rivers, from the mightiest to the most meandering, each assuming the mantle of a river god. Oceanus resided in solitary splendor, far removed from his Titan kin, dwelling in a palace nestled deep beneath the azure sea. He was an elusive presence, never gracing the gatherings of divine gods or mingling with humanity. His dominion extended to the very motions of the sun, the moon, and the stars, which obeyed his command, appearing in the world and then returning to the embrace of Oceanus. Yet amidst this celestial compliance, the constellation Ursa Major, the Great Bear, had steadfastly refused to yield to Oceanus' sovereignty. Titan Koios, in matrimonial union with Phoebe, was blessed with 2 enchanting daughters, Leto and Asteria. The beguiling beauty of these sisters stirred the pot of envy and discontent, ultimately drawing the attention of the god Zeus. Titan Hyperion, in the bonds of marriage with the goddess Theia, had the privilege of siring 1 son and 2 daughters. Their son was Helios, the god of the radiant sun, while their daughters bore the names of Selene, the gentle goddess of the moon, and Eos, the dawn goddess known for her fingers brushed with rosy hues. Titan Cronus, known as Saturn in Roman mythology, Widria, and together they became parents to 3 sons and 3 daughters. Their sons were Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus, and their daughters included Hestia, Demeter, and Hera. It's worth noting that during this period, 2 Titanides, Themis and Mnemosyne, remain unyoked in union with any other deity, and the reasons behind their solitude remain a mystery in the annals of ancient lore. In light of this, Titan Koios and Japhet had to seek partners from beyond the Titan lineage. Krios chose Eribe, and this union bore fruit in the form of 3 sons: Astræus, Pallas, and Perseus, all renowned for their profound wisdom. Speaking of the eldest son of Titan Koios, the god Astræus, his romantic entanglement deserves mention. Astræus, entranced by the Nymphios, the goddess of dawn with her rosy fingers, embarked on a union that led to the birth of the fierce winds that traverse the world. Even though Zephyr, the gentle wind Roman mythology, Favonius, was considered amiable, he heralded the arrival of dark clouds, foretelling refreshing and invigorating rain. Zephyr was often referred to as the west wind. On the contrary, Boreas, the north wind Roman mythology Septentrion, was fleet-footed, outpacing most other winds, sometimes inducing anxiety among mortals. Notos, the south wind in Roman mythology, Auster, bestowed warmth, while Euros, the southwest wind Roman mythology, Volturns, blew with a cooling and gentle demeanor. As the night sky shimmered with countless stars, these celestial bodies were recognized as the offspring of Astræus and Eos, casting their eternal glow across the vast expanse of the night. Eos, with a heart receptive to amorous passions, indulged in countless dalliances with other gods and mortals, bearing numerous offspring and descendants, enriching the world with delight and vivacity. Titan Japhet, entering into wedlock with an Oceanide nymph named Clymene, was blessed with 4 sons: Atlas, Prometheus, Epimetheus, and Menoetius. Now, regarding the 2 Titanides, Themis and Mnemosyne, who chose not to enter into matrimony, within the ancient divine realm, each entity had a unique role to play. Themis held the divine mantle of the goddess of law, justice, balance, and supreme order, a manifestation of the very essence of laws and order. It was through Themis that the world found its mooring, a state of equilibrium and unfettered growth. Her wisdom extended to the furthest reaches, and her profound insight illuminated the grand tapestry of existence. On the other hand, Mnemosyne, assumed the mantle of the goddess of memory and remembrance. Through her grace, humanity retained experiences and knowledge, a gradual ascent towards greater sagacity and proficiency. And so we conclude the tale of the first progeny of Uranus and Gaia, the Titans and Titanides, along with a brief glimpse of their progeny. Should one choose to trace the lineage branch by branch, an abundance of untold stories awaits discovery. As for the origin of the universe, an alternative narrative exists. Aristophanes, the revered Greek playwright from the 5th century BC, inscribed his version as follows: "In the beginning, there was darkness, and in the darkness a black pair of wings gave birth to an egg born from the wind, placed in the depths of dark Erebus, profound and shrouded in obscurity. And while the 4 seasons passed in succession, all of space remained in perpetual anticipation, until the god of love arrived with gleaming golden wings." This interpretation stands in contrast to the previous narrative, aligning itself with the doctrines of Orphic religious mythology, a philosophical tradition that surfaced in the 8th century BC. According to this rendition, before the dawn of creation, only chaos reigned supreme. Chaos was a profound emptiness springing forth from the eternal time, known as Chronos. From Chronos emerged fire, water, and air, and through their presence, the pantheon of deities would be born, generation after generation, within the enigmatic embrace of Chronos. Night mixed and mist coexisted. In time, mist condensed into a prodigious egg, poised for the inevitable moment of hatching. As the grand egg yielded, a youthful and resplendent angel, adorned with glistening golden wings, emerged. This celestial being, in the very act of emerging from its ethereal shell, elevated one portion skyward and placed the other beneath its feet. Thus, the realms of heaven, Uranus, and earth, Gaia, took their form. The radiant and youthful angel bore the name Eros, the god of love. Eros possessed extraordinary powers capable of harmoniously unifying all facets of existence, from deities to humans, animals, plants, to the most majestic of landscapes, mountains, rivers, and seas. With a divine purpose, he intricately wove the elements of the world into the tapestry of life. It was, indeed, the profound love between heaven and earth that painted the cosmos with vibrancy. Without such affection, why would heaven not distance itself from earth, leaving her in solitary desolation within the cold, dark abyss of the cosmos? For this profound bond led heaven to bestow upon earth the gift of radiant light and the caress of warmth. Showers of rejuvenating rain nourished the lands, yielding fertility, colorful blooms, and luxuriant greenery. Earth, inspired by Eros' love, in turn nurtured life within her, coaxing forth seeds and verdant branches from her very essence. She generously offered her life force to sustain the flora that graced her surface. Could it be, then, a desire to captivate the heart of heaven that prompted Earth to perpetually adorn herself in ever-changing raiments and bedeck herself with diverse embellishments? At times, she was swathed in vivid greens, while other moments saw her bathed in the radiant allure of gold. Yet, in the absence of heaven, when distant journeys drew him away, Earth would find herself engulfed in solitude, her spirit withering, the world around her growing desolate and melancholic.